Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to turn a fig cutting into a fig tree. Now you want to start by taking your fig cutting when your tree is dormant, and that means anywhere through late fall through early spring. I took this one early spring and I'm taking this one right now. So you've still got a little bit of time if you want to find a neighbor or a friend who has a fig tree and go try to grow your own. So I'm going to show you how I first prepare it, and I'll show you the process that I went through to prepare all of mine. So here we go. You want to start by taking a 6-inch long by 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch thick cutting when your tree is dormant. Make sure you keep track of which end is up because you'll be planting it in that same direction. After you have your cutting, the first thing you need to do is scrape off some of the bark to expose that green cambium layer. This will increase the surface where your roots will grow. The next thing you want to do is seal the top of the cutting from moisture. I did this by using grafting tape, but you can also use plastic wrap or even dip it in candle wax. After I finished sealing the top, I then dipped the bottom end in water and applied the rooting hormone. Now you don't need the hormone, but it definitely helps. And the next thing I did was create a hole in the soil so the powder doesn't slide off when the cutting is pushed into the dirt. I started preparing my cuttings in the middle of December right after they went dormant. While most of these cuttings were from my trees, I did do one trade, and I also purchased 4 new varieties from Athens Orchard, which I was very pleased with their cuttings, so I'll link their information below in case y'all are looking for a place to purchase cuttings. After I finished preparing all the cuttings, I placed them in a slightly damp seed starting mix, which I used 2 parts coco coir, 1 part perlite, and 1 part vermiculite. Then I labeled them and put them in a large clear container. Now you don't need to place them in a container, but I knew I wanted to keep the soil moist and yet be able to easily move them in and out of the sun in later months. Dormant cuttings have enough energy stored in their stems that they can send out green growth without actually rooting, so the goal is to get the cuttings to root before they break dormancy. And there are a couple ways to help this. The first being keep the tops of the stems cold while heating the roots, and place it in the dark, away from the sun. If you live in a cold climate, you can easily use a heat mat, but if you live in a warm climate like I do, I kept them in the house with a dark sheet over the top when it was hot outside, and when it was cold outside, I moved them into the garage. Alright guys, so I am 3 weeks in, and I'm going to show you guys an update on how everything's going. Alright, so here is a couple of my fig cuttings. Those first 4 on the bottom, those are a variety which I actually traded someone for those, and when I got those in, they looked to be pretty dry, so I'm not sure how he handled them before I got them, but I'm not sure if those are gonna ever come out of dormancy. It barely peeled off any bark, any green growth. Right here, all of those strong green growth, those are all from my trees. I'm wondering, I did fresh cutting, so I cut them off, and then within a couple days I planted them, so I'm wondering if maybe they focus too much on growth and won't have any root or what, but we will see on those. I have 4 other varieties right here in these other containers. One variety is broken dormancy right there, and then a couple others I'm seeing like a little bit of budding. You can see that one right there, a little baby coming out. But I purchased these, and I'll link who I purchased them from. But yeah, I purchased those from a seller for like $3 or $4 each cutting, and they seem to be doing really well. They've had nice green growth when I cut the bottoms, or nice green stems, but
yeah, so these are how they're doing so far. I'm not gonna put a lot of money on them right now because you never know until you pop open the dirt, see how much root is there. But yeah, so that's the growth so far.
This is a 2-week update from the last time I talked to you guys. I went ahead and I checked some of the roots to see if there was growth, and we have growth. So I started up potting some of them, and I want to show you what they're looking like right now. So here's an update. It's been 2 weeks since I last showed you these guys. I just separated them all out from, these are the ones that have roots that are established enough, and I'm going to keep them outside in the shade. It's kind of warm here. Last night was our last snap of 40, and then from here on it's going to be pretty warm at night, so I decided to keep these outside. If it gets colder, I'll move them inside, but right now they have a little bit of shade and the weather, so that should keep them nice, and I'll keep them all moist. But the bottom left, those Chicago Hardies, all but one, have not moved outside. It still has root growth, it's just not kind of established enough for me to feel comfortable bringing it out here. The LSU Gold, every single one of them, the far bottom right, all of those rooted and they look fantastic. The Black Mission on the back left, those all did fantastic, amazing growth. So the LSU Gold and the Black Mission had the best growth. So if you're looking for an easy fig to root, those would be it. Next would be the Brown Turkey. Those had pretty good roots, but not as vigorous. And that's the back right. So there's 6 of them that didn't root enough yet. And then on Black Mission, there's about 4 of them that I still have left. But as you can see, I'll show y'all the whole vision. But the 4 right that I told y'all about that didn't have that much green growth, those have 0 root growth, and I'm pretty sure they're just gonna rot right there. But let me show you a picture. But out of all of them, these 4 are the only ones that had a little sign of molding. So I'm not sure what that was about, but I don't think I'm gonna get any from those. But as you can see, the next one is Brown Turkey, and then Black Mission, only one of those Chicago Hardy. Now all of these on the left, they all show roots, but not enough for me to want to move them outside yet. So I will give it a couple of weeks and I'll give you another update. Alright guys, so this is my end product. It looks like almost all of them have rooted, other than those 4 Olympian that I originally thought they wouldn't root. Those have not shown any growth at root at all. But pretty much everything else has come up. There's a couple of them that got a little bit cold on a couple nights, and the tops have fried. I'm gonna wait a couple weeks and see if they bounce back. But other than that, I think I had a pretty good success rate with this method. Again, I started these earlier this fall, but the method still works for early spring as long as you get the cuttings when they're dormant. But I hope you guys will go out and venture into other people's yards and go take some cuttings. So wish you guys luck. Thanks for watching. Bye.